Ever get that feeling, when you hear about some worthy cause and you're like, man, I wish there was something I could do, but then, what can you do?
Yeah, I get it.
Happens to me all the time. But this story we're diving into today, well, this one's pretty inspiring. It reminds us that even small actions, they can make a difference.
Absolutely.
So we're doing a deep dive on this blog post about something called the Cynthia Spencer Project.
Okay.
And it's the story of this guy, right? He wants to find a way to honor his late wife.
Right.
And the way he does it, it's pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
We're talking internationally famous artists, a whole high-end jewelry line, even 3D printing,
Wow.
all to support a hospice.
That's incredible.
And the craziest part is this. He says it all started with, get this, a phone call. Yeah, just a phone call. I know, sounds crazy, right? So we got to unpack this whole thing, see how it all came together.
Yeah, let's do that. What really gets me about this story is how much emotion is at the heart of it all. I mean,
Yeah.
you can just feel it, right? Turning grief into something positive,
Yeah.
something that helps other people. It's kind of amazing.
Yeah, it is. And you can really feel that emotion in the way he writes about his wife, Janice.
You can.
It's like he just wants to create a tribute that truly captures how special she was. And what makes it even more poignant?
What's that?
He chooses Cynthia Spencer Hospice, right?
Okay.
It was their 45th anniversary. The hospices and his and Janice's, talk about a sign.
Wow, that's quite a coincidence.
Right. So here's where things get really interesting. He gets this idea that jewelry would be the perfect way to honor her, because it lasts, it has meaning. But here's the thing, he doesn't just go to any local jeweler.
He doesn't.
No. This guy, he sets his sights on Stephan's.
Stephan's the high-end jeweler.
The one and only, the one with all the celebrity clients and the bespoke pieces.
Wow. That's a pretty bold move.
Right. I mean, who does that? Cold calling some big-time jeweler with just like a heartfelt story and a dream.
It really makes you think, though. Like, we don't ask enough. We're always afraid of hearing no. This story is like a lesson in just going for it, even when it seems impossible.
That's a really good point.
And you know what else is amazing?
What's that?
Everyone involved in this project, the jewelers, the artists, they all donated their time. All of them. It just goes to show you how powerful a genuine story can be.
That's really something. And get this is where they bring in 3D printing.
Really?
Yeah. 3D printing for high-end jewelry. Kind of wild, right?
That's pretty innovative.
Totally. In fact, he even got Anycubic, the 3D printing company, to sponsor the whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah, they provided a resin printer and all the materials.
That's amazing.
They used it to prototype the pendant.
I see.
Which,
Yeah.
allowed them to test out ideas way faster than traditional methods.
Oh, for sure. Prototyping is everything in design.
Right. It's so important. So then he brings in these two amazing artists, Nathan Smith and Claire Pound.
I know those names. They've done work for, major magazines and brands, haven't they?
Exactly. But here's the thing. They were all local, but because of COVID, they had to collaborate remotely.
Oh, wow. Talk about adapting.
Right. And what's cool?
What?
The blog actually shows their whole design process.
No way.
Yeah. You can see how they took the hospice's logo and turned it into this incredible piece of art.
That's so cool.
It's really something. They played with different interpretations, materials. They even thought about doing rings first.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But in the end, they landed on the pendant. You can just feel the passion in every single step.
Yeah, I bet. It's amazing how they balanced, respecting the hospice's logo, but also making something beautiful, something people would want to wear.
Right. And speaking of which, did you notice the yellow agate beads?
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Well, it turns out agate symbolizes harmony and balance, which ties in perfectly with what the hospice is all about. Plus, yellow is one of their colors.
I love when those little details have deeper meaning.
Me too. It adds so much.
Right. It's
Yeah.
amazing how those little details can make such a difference.
Totally. Jewelry, it's like more than just an object,
Yeah.
Throughout history, people have used it to, to show who they are, what they believe in, mark important occasions.
Right.
Like
right.
this pendant, it's like all of that rolled into one.
The thing that really struck me was how simple his message was at the end of the post. He basically just said, I made a few phone calls and asked for help.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
Wow.
It's like you don't have to do something huge to make a difference.
No, you don't.
Sometimes just taking that first step, just asking, it can be enough. Exactly.
Yeah.
He's basically given us a roadmap, for how to turn good intentions into action. You don't need to be famous or rich to make an impact.
Yeah.
It's all about finding what you care about and then, doing something.
Yeah, just making that first move, however small,
Like you said, just a few phone calls.
makes you wonder what we could achieve, right? If we all just took our skills, our interests, and used them for good.
That reminds me of when I was starting out. I was really passionate about these literacy programs,
Okay.
but I felt like, what can I do?
Mm-hmm.
I was just a student. But then I was like, wait a minute, I'm pretty good at graphic design.
Yeah.
So I reached out to this local library, offered to design their fundraising materials for free. And you know what? It ended up being way more successful than we thought it would be.
Hmm.
It just goes to show, you never know what can happen when you put yourself out there.
That's so true. We often don't realize how much we have to offer. And in this case, this guy's love for his wife, it didn't just benefit the hospice,
Yeah.
it's got us thinking about what we can do to make a difference. So maybe that's a good place to leave it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
What seemingly impossible dream could you make happen just by making a phone call, by taking that first step? Think about it.